I'm going to show how to can plain, non-pickled jalapenos. I'm following the guidelines found on the National Center for Home Food Preservation website. This recipe does not call for vinegar, therefore I will be using the pressure canning method. I'm also using 12-ounce jars, but I will be following the pint recipe. If using a traditional pressure canner, be sure to follow the altitude chart for adjusting time and pressure. I will be using a digital pressure canner, which will adjust itself. Begin by gathering fresh peppers. I'm picking these from my garden. Next, collect the peppers in a colander. As seen here, I had picked some cayenne peppers as well. However, I will only be canning the jalapenos. Rinse the peppers using cold tap water, then set aside to drain. Before slicing, remember to always wear gloves when handling hot peppers. When slicing, first remove the stem end of the pepper and then slice into rings. I prefer 1/4-inch slices, but the size is up to you. Next, set up your canning station. Then, add water to a blanching pot and bring to a boil. Then, transfer the pepper slices to the blanching basket and blanch for 3 minutes. Once the time is ended, remove the peppers and allow them to drain. Next, transfer the peppers to a stock pot and place it at your canning station. Now select a hot sterile jar and insert a canning funnel. Using a ladle, fill the jar with the hot pepper slices. Be sure to leave a head space of at least 1 inch from the top. Next, add 1/2 teaspoon of canning salt if using pint jars. Then ladle in the boiling water. Once again, make sure you leave a head space. Note you can boil fresh water, or in this case, I'm just using the blanching water. Next, run a plastic knife around the inner perimeter of the jar to release any trapped bubbles. Wipe the rim of the jar clean using a cloth or a paper towel. Now select a lid from the simmering pot and place it on the clean rim of the jar. Then secure with a ring. Make sure you do not over-tighten. Using jar lifters, place the filled jar on the rack in your pressure canner. Continue on with the rest of the jars in the same manner. Once the canner is full, lock on the lid and allow the canner to vent for 10 minutes before starting pressure. For proper venting, be sure to remove the regulator from the vent pipe. After venting is complete, use an oven mitt or pot holder to reinstall the regulator. If using a digital canner, turn the regulator to the can position. And once again, if using a traditional canner, follow the guidelines on a canning altitude chart. Where I live, it calls for 10 pounds of pressure. Once the pressure has been reached, process pints for 35 minutes. Once processing is finished, allow the canner to cool until the pressure is 0 before removing the lid. And finally, using jar lifters, transfer jars to a towel and allow them to cool for 12 to 24 hours before storing.